Hey, this is Dust. Thank you for joining me for episode 6 of my Rimworld tutorial colony. Things are going very well. I just wanted to give a shout out to a few people who have pointed out some things to me, which I will go through with yourself. So thank you first to Tharun2K20, who points out that actually my windmill is now getting blocked by a couple of oak trees. Well spotted, sir. This is not going to happen after we start planting some bits and pieces in the ground here, but of course because we haven't got around to the planting yet, it's allowing the trees to grow up and get in the way of the oak tree. So it's something you've got to keep an eye on just for now. As I said, you could just put some floor down on this, but I think the trouble with floor is that it's just floor, it doesn't do anything. Whereas if you've got a grow zone here, you're actually getting something out of it, and you're also keeping the windmill free of any blockages. But yeah, that's great, thanks for that. Thank you to Ben Bowen, who correctly pointed out something I keep forgetting, is that these walls are not being repaired for one or both of two reasons. Firstly, they both have to be in your home zone, which they are. But the other thing is because they were on the map when we started, we actually have to claim them, as we can see. So these walls here, for instance, we don't own these walls, we have to claim them. In order to do that, it's very straightforward. You just click the, well, you can do it one of two ways. You can either click on the wall and click on claim, and then you can see now it becomes fixable. If I do that on this wall we haven't claimed, I'm right clicking, it's not doing anything, but on this wall it does. So the easiest way to do it is go to orders, click on claim, and just drag over your base. And we can see here it's done all of that. So now anybody with a construction skill, when they get to it, will start repairing these walls. Now these are steel walls and these are going to come down and be replaced in due course, but it doesn't hurt. I've got some marble, which is great, so I'll be replacing, as I said, probably these walls here first because they're wooden, with some marble, because marble obviously gives you a buff to the room beauty, so that's good stuff. Alright, so thanks for that. Finally, Artemis suggested that I update the food bill, because obviously we've got 4 people now, not 3, we're going to have a 5th one very soon. So we can see resistance remaining none, recruitment charge is very high, chance is high, so we can update the bill to make 20, actually make that 22, because that's a, there you go, so that's 2 meals a day for 5 people with a couple to spare. So I think that works quite nicely. And we're going to unpause. Unpause 10 still pretty good, so I'm happy with that. Alright, good news. So we've managed to recruit Gizmo, which is brilliant, because Gizmo is actually really good at recruit. Well, he's good at intellectual, but he's also got a burning desire to learn it as well. So we're going to set Gizmo straight away to doing intellectual, which means we can free up probably Stranger, or somebody who's good with plants, probably Eugene actually now, to do plant work. Is Eugene cooking? He's not. Okay, so we have a quick rejig of the schedule. So Eugene we want now to focus on doing the growing. Okay, he's happy, he does that, he's very happy with doing that. Probably back him off on the construction now. I want him to do the growing, I want him to focus on the growing. Gizmo, on the other hand, he's actually quite good at social as well. Yep. We're going to get him to do researching. Researching is his primary concern, everything else comes second. Okay, so we have set the research task already, batteries in progress, so he's now going to start sitting down in here and doing the researching job. I'm also going to put down some nice flooring here. Let's get some paved tiles is good. Just run it between these two areas so they move slightly faster. If you hover and then look in bottom left hand corner, it says soil walk speed 87%. If I hover over, say, the flooring, so walk speed 100%. So it's not a great deal, but it all makes a difference. So I'm going to put that there. And I recommend doing this between any kind of well-trodden paths, so probably along here as well. It can't hurt. If you've got the steel to spare, it all works. Now, the problem we've got at the moment is that it's very hot outside, bottom right-hand corner, outdoors, 40 degrees centigrade. We need to fix that, because it's the height of summer, and they're starting to get heat stroke, which is not great. Now, Jonathan can go and sit in a freezer, but he's not going to do that necessarily. But what we're going to do is we're going to put some air conditioning into these areas. So I think we've got the power to deal with that for now. That's going to be a focus just very quickly. So what we're doing is we will put in a cool area here, and probably a cool area in here as well, and make sure they're hooked up on the power situation, which looks like they are. And then we're going to put vents into the bedrooms, so they can share the temperature. So it will come in here cool and it will waft it throughout all this area. So our constructors will get to that in due course. Gizmo's researching, and Eugene, hopefully, yep, he's planting. So you see he's starting to plant the crops, which is brilliant. Alright, so we've got we're going to set that to 20, because, well, in fact, it comes in set to 21, which is a comfortable temperature, and we can see here it's already starting to cool down in there if we hover over this area, which is great. We've also moved out all of the junk that was in here to put in here. It still says it's awful. That's only really because it's dirty. So if we can get Jonathan just to give that a clean before he goes to bed, we can see that this room will improve no end. In fact, if I choose this, watch this as Jonathan cleans. So it goes down to mediocre. We can fix this easily. There's still a few bits of dirt left in here. We can actually fix this quite easily by putting some statues and some flower pots. In fact, we just copy that, put a couple of flower pots in here just to easily boost the beauty rating once they plant some flowers in, of course. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll deconstruct that because it's providing heat, which we don't want on a hot day, and we'll actually put in a standing lamp in here instead. Our prisoner area. I mean, we don't actually have any prisoners now, so it doesn't really matter. As Gizmo is now a welcome part of the pack, and we're going to start going places. Gizmo's researching. Actually, I'm actually going to get Gizmo just to cut down these trees as a matter of... You're the only one who's awake, basically, so I'll get you to do that. He's awake at 3 in the morning. Is he a night owl? He's not. Just set his schedule up to make sure that he doesn't... He's not awake at night. I mean, his schedule's probably a bit messed up because he's been a prisoner, but this will kind of sort itself out in due course. Alright, so the tree's down, the windmill's going again properly. This is all good. Alright, good. Alright, so it turns out that we've completely run out of steel, but that's okay. There's a couple of things that we can do to fix this. So firstly, this entire wall here is made out of steel. So what I'm going to do very quickly, I'm going to deconstruct all of that, and indeed... probably this as well, because the prison's not being used right now. And we can replace all this with limestone. We've got a whole load of limestone, which we brought up from down here. I think it was here, the flooring here actually. And we'll replace this with limestone walls instead. So when they get around to building this, so you have to deconstruct the wall first and then put the limestone wall up instead. There is a mod called replace something. I can't remember exactly what it's called. And what this would do is you could just say, right, build limestone walls here. They'd automatically take down the wall type that was here in the first place. So that's actually pretty nice. So Eugene is currently on planting. So he'd normally be doing deconstruction and stuff first, but we've actually told him to get on with the planting because we do need plants in the ground now. The others, meanwhile, our constructors are busy doing their thing, which is fine. I'm happy with that. So we've got some metal. So let's bang up some limestone wall. You can see the dog is picking up all the metal, taking it to the metal storage area, which is awesome. So we can get that done very quickly, and that's that situation fixed. And we're going to put up some marble walls in here. Now Fleming, is Fleming the night owl? Yes, Fleming's the night owl. So we don't want to interrupt Fleming's sleep. We'll do that when Fleming gets up. So you can see here that the room is now considered to be awful, but it's only because it considers this to be one big room. And we've got heat stroke. Yeah, we need to sort the situation out. So we've got this up now, and this means that all these bedrooms are a little bit cooler. Or they will be cooler. I think this is only just switched on. Yeah, look. Ah, we forgot to put in a vent in here. So let's build a copy. So we can waft it down here. So at the moment, it only comes into this room, and this room doesn't go any further. So we'll get one put in there, and that will stop the heat stroke issues. Got the light on, which helps the building speed, which is great. Alright, looking good. We're getting research done. Research is already halfway through on batteries, which is fantastic. That light is not connected for some reason. No, it is connected, but it's off. That's interesting. We've not got enough power. Looks like we don't have enough power. Interesting. So these coolers are 200 watts each. That's 600 watts plus... That's 300, yeah. So we've run out of power. So we need the wind turbine to be turning a little bit faster. But once you've got batteries, it will fix this issue. So Fleming's going around now and... oh, solar flare, that's bad timing. So solar flare shuts everything down, obviously. Which is not good when it's... when there's a heat, when it's really quite hot outside, but I think we'll be able to maintain the heat in here okay. It takes a while for this stuff to go off. The meat not so much, but the meals take a couple of days. We might lose the meat. Alright, so we are looking great with 5 people. We've got separate prison, we've got separate storeroom. I'm going to get rid of the planning in here just so it doesn't confuse me. And yeah, just for the hospital now. So what have we've got decent amounts of. We've got decent amounts of marble. Right. So actually, let's remove the wood from here. Let's get this wall done, as we said we would. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got enough for 6 bits of wall made out of marble. Marble's great. If you can use marble for walls and people's bedrooms or the rec room, it's very, very useful. And it's certainly recommended. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about when they build it. Stranger could do with a little bit doing some cleaning here, actually. Also in here, we're trying to keep this place clean. We want to put a little bit of wooden flooring down. We could do paved tile, actually, just there. That works. So we've got 323 steel. So the steel problem has come down a little bit. Alright, so let me just let me do this. So we can see here now that if I look in this bedroom, we'll see that the marble walls give a 1 bonus to the beauty, whereas these other walls don't. Wood doesn't, granite doesn't, limestone, slate doesn't, just marble. So bear that in mind when you build your bedrooms. It's pretty handy. Alright, he was queued up to do the... it was Stranger, wasn't it? Stranger was cleared up to do the cleaning of the dirt. Until you've got so many people you can put somebody on cleaning permanently, this is going to be an ongoing issue. Because they track the dirt in from the outside, which is a bit of a drag, honestly, literally. Alright, what's this? Steel. We don't want steel. We want to build with the actual stone. So we can come down here, we can actually deconstruct the sandstone wall here. Let's deconstruct all of that. And we'll bring up the flooring as well. Good. Just some fires caused by the thunderstorms. We can deconstruct this. Basically, don't mine unless you really have to, because mining is very slow. So deconstruct that. We'll take up that flooring as well. We're going to completely live off the land as far as we can. Those boomlock meat's rotted away because it's still really hot outside. I would recommend probably getting a second cooler, just so in terms of the heat wave. You can deal with a situation like this. However, having said that, I'm going to try using a passive coolant here, which should help a little bit. Because it's 45 degrees outside is madness. It's cooler in here, which is good. Has that not been deconstructed yet? I'll get right on that. We don't want this heat build up at all. We can actually turn that light off as well. We don't need the light because the prison isn't being used. Good grief, it's 51 degrees in here. Wow, this is... Whew. That's horrendous. So we built the passive cooler. It's not doing a great deal. I think what we should do is build a second cooler in here. Because this is really quite hot. One of the negatives of being on a hex like this, where you get hot summers. So Jonathan, I'd rather Jonathan you actually finish constructing that. Brilliant. So we're going to turn these down to -19 just to counteract the heat build-up. So we'll see this is going to go down significantly now over on the right-hand side. It's dropping, it's dropping, it's dropping. I'm going to try and keep this as cold as possible. Okay, good. So the temperature setting seems to be good. That's fine. Okay, so we're starting to build the hospital now. We've actually also got 105 marble, which is awesome. So we're going to rip out these walls and make all the bedrooms with marble in, because that's going to be fantastic. Meanwhile, we're going to finish the hospital off by putting more sandstone in. We've got 43 blocks, so that's 15, 25. So we're going to start carrying on with that. Batteries are done. Outstanding. That's brilliant. Okay, what's the next thing to do? Now, realistically, I think what I always tend to do next is solar paneling, because you get a good blend of wind power and solar power. I don't like using this. It's quite inefficient. Keep feeding it wood all the time. It's not great. But if you've got a blend of batteries with wind and solar, obviously solar doesn't work at night, but in the daytime it outputs a lot, and the windmill kind of is on and off throughout the day and the night. So solar paneling tends to be super useful. So that's probably what I'm going to go for next. And in the meantime, let's build a battery or two. Just one for now is probably good. And we can put the battery in a corridor here, because batteries are quite ugly. Nobody really likes the way that batteries look. So I'm going to put a battery there. It'll connect itself automatically to the power grid. And it's a bit cooler in here for Gizmo, which is fantastic, so he's not going to get so hot. Got a war merchant coming, lovely. So I'm going to put some flooring down in here. Now, ideally, you want to have sterile tiles in the hospital because it's basically it's very clean. Once we research smithing, we can put down some metal tiles. So smithing is what we're going to do next because metal tiles are actually quite cheap, quite clean. Sorry, not cheap. What am I talking about? So the war merchant is coming. We'll deal with him very shortly. Right, let's harvest those berries simply because we can. So that's all down. That's fantastic. I think putting some marble in the hospital probably is not going to hurt at all. That will certainly help boost the hospital's beauty. I think we'll leave that one out. Actually put a door in there instead. I can make a steel door. No, wooden door's fine. So we can deal with the war merchant. Now, when you deal with caravans, visiting caravans, trading caravans, you always get the person with the highest social skills to talk to them. And if you all know who that is, it's generally the person who you'll see who are good at wardening. So wardening 10, wardening 14, wardening 9. So really, Eugene's the best person to talk to them. So I'll get Eugene back. And we can see here he's getting 21% bonus to the price. So we've got 806 silver. Have we got anything that they want? We don't want cobras. Or cobras, oh, that's cool. But we don't want the granite club. In fact, Gonzo's not armed with anything, so that is something. Let me just back that off a minute. Gizmo, sorry, not Gonzo. So Gizmo's actually quite good at shooting. We've got a couple of melee fighters. I've got one melee fighter, I think. Yeah. So I think giving Gizmo... He enjoys shooting. I think giving Gizmo a gun is probably... or something ranged is probably a good idea. I can build... I'm going to make him a bow. I'm loath to spend money on something I can build really quickly, so I'll build him a bow shortly. We'll sell him the rubbishy ware. There's not really much going on here, in fact. Get rid of those two and that. Yep, that all looks good. So we kind of get 6 back on the deal. Not much. 6 silver, wow. Now we're going to build Gizmo something. We're going to put down quickly a crafting spot, very quick crafting spot, and we're going to craft him a short bow. Just something very simple. Because both of our raiders so far have not had anything worth bringing. Now, who's good at crafting? I think Gizmo himself is actually quite good at crafting. So we'll stick him on crafting. So he's now going to do crafting, then carry on with his research, and he'll make himself a short bow. So the battery is building up power, it's storing it. So if the wind drops, it doesn't matter so much. And honestly, once this is full, we can probably turn this off now and use this as a backup. So if the battery's flat, we'll turn it on. Got some donkeys joining. That's nice. So we've got 2 donkeys. Ah, lovely. Good thing with donkeys, don't underestimate them. These guys can haul for us very, very nicely. So we'll train them both to haul. Do not underestimate hauling. Hauling will become such a big thing towards the end of the game, or towards the mid-game even. It's super useful. Alright, so it's halfway through, what, 6th of the way through, 7th of the way through. This is the solar panel research, that's great. Looks like our food supplies are getting a bit low, we need to do some hunting, so let's we'll go and hunt these muffalo again. Let's do the lot this time. So we've got some good patches. This hasn't been... Eugene's not been focusing on this very much, actually. That's interesting. Is there a problem here? Oh, jumped up to there. There's no... Oh, it's allowed sewing, I think. Yeah. Oh, Eugene's on it now instead. Okay, cool. Brilliant. Alright, it's all looking good. Sustainable colony. I'm loving it. Donkeys are sleeping in the fridge. Now, donkeys. Donkeys, unlike dogs, they do have a filth rate of 0.75, so you need to be aware of that. And what we're going to do is we're going to zone the donkeys so they don't come into the area, the areas of the, well, bedrooms and things like that, basically. So we're going to firstly sort the dog out. We don't want the dog in the bedrooms. There's really no need for that. The dog can come up through here and he can help with the hauling. He can come in here. He can haul into the kitchen. That's fine. We don't want him going to the kitchen or to the butchery or the hospital, or indeed, he doesn't need to go in there either. So honestly speaking, the donkeys are a bit different because they're going to track filth all along here. So what we'll do is we'll create a new area and we'll call them herbivores, because they're all going to be in the same boat pretty much. And we'll allow herbivores to come in the storeroom. And actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. If I draw the areas I don't want them in, so let's say I don't want them in these areas here, or there, or there. We don't want them in here, or indeed in there. So they can, when they start to haul, they can bring stuff into the storeroom, they can go to the outside. We don't want them in here at all, pretty much. Then we're going to invert that. So manage areas, herbivores, inverts, they can go pretty much anywhere apart from those areas. And let's set that. Oh, sorry, it's down here. Herbivores, where's the other donkey? And herbivores. Okay, perfect. Just make sure that we've got that set up correctly. Give it another look at. Yep, so they can go through the middle, but they can't get to anywhere else. Ah, we want them to be able to go to the storeroom, so let's just draw that out quickly. But no further. Okay, great. So hopefully you're getting the idea of what a kind of sustainable colony looks like. We finished the hospital now. We need to get some flooring down, but we'll do that momentarily. What we will do is we'll set all of this stuff to be cut. And we'll mark those two to be hauled. We're going to put the flooring down. Like I said, it's going to be steel flooring, but we can't get that until we've researched the smithing here, which is a little bit frustrating, but that's okay. We've still got lots of steel, so we'll put down some paved tile up here and also along here. So it's looking quite good. I think we could probably do with increasing the size of our storeroom. And this is where you want to be careful where you put the placement of these items here. It's still very hot outside, so I'm not going to open this up yet. When the summer goes down a bit, I'm probably going to put them facing into here and leave this unroofed. So they'll be venting their heat out here. I hope you understand why we don't vent the heat from here into the rest of the base, because when it's 43 degrees outside, you vent this hot air into the base, you've got a major problem, because you can't switch this off. They're cooling. So that is why you control the temperature inside with heaters, not with the exhaust port of the air conditioning. It just makes a lot of sense. Got to keep the kitchen and the butchery clean. Alright, good. Okay, now, next thing we want to be doing is we want to set up a stone, probably an art bench as well, but a stonecutter's table in the first instance. So we'll put that there, and we'll get a comfortable chair to sit in as well. And I want a tool cabinet. Now, a tool cabinet is dead useful because it will improve the speed of making things. Now at the moment we don't have any benches which could benefit from a tool cabinet, so we'll get to that in due course. It looks like Gizmo's made the short bow, so we'll get him to equip that when he's finished with this. I'm going to cancel those two because those are going to be walls. So what have we got? We can do marble's a bit of a waste. I'll use sandstone. So we'll get some sandstone walls up here, up there, and this will be inside, and a wooden door. So I found another spot here. We can deconstruct all of this, and we just deconstruct. There's more marble, which is awesome. And while we're here, we'll deconstruct all of this. It's just easy metal. We don't need to mine for it. It's just easy life. So the quest active ship to the stars. This is the standard one that comes up in every single game, and it's telling us about a starship on the planet that we can travel to and take off. This is good fun to do if you get the opportunity to do it. It really does teach you a lot about the game and about how caravans and drop pods work, because you can drop pod your way across the planet. Okay, great. Now, because the stone bench is done, it means that we can actually start stone cutting. We will do that soon, but we don't need to because we've got a lot of ruins and stuff around, and we can actually use that for now. But soon we're going to need to start stone cutting. Is that metal? Yeah, good. Now, in order to do that, you want to make it as efficient as possible. So it's probably likely that I am going to actually move this. So install it over here, near to the door that I'm about to make. I'm going to put a door in this wall. So structure, door there. So when you're stone cutting, you go out, cut, bring it in, put it outside, which works very nicely. Area revealed. Ah, it's only a little area revealed. It's not very exciting. Is that gold? Gold ore. Awesome. We'll take that in due course. So we moved over there. This room is actually really quite filthy now. Gizmo is not a cleaner. All right. I guess somebody else do it. Jonathan can have a quick clean when he finishes his food. And on that basis, we'll put paved tile going outside as well. There's a major break risk. Stranger. Stranger's not happy. Why is Stranger not happy? Recreation starved. Interesting. Have we not scheduled her in any recreation? Stranger has recreation. She can do that if she wants to. Now why is she not doing recreation? That's interesting. Have we not got the recreation hoop outside anymore? I thought I had it over here somewhere, but maybe I removed it and didn't replace it. That's entirely possible. Let me just put down a horseshoes pin. Interesting. The rec room is slightly impressive now. We've got the flowers in, so this is good. People will get a buff from that. Decent dining room. So recreation starve bothers me a little. There's a reason why that is happening. There is recreation activity, but maybe she's bored of doing chess. I will have a look into this and I'll be right back. Okay, well I've just checked. I'm kind of doing everything right. It could be that this recreation source here, which was the only one at the time, was busy when Stranger wanted to use it. So it's possible that that's caused the problem. Chemical hunger doesn't help. A slightly sweaty, awful bedroom. That doesn't help either. Let's check. She shouldn't be sweaty. 21 degrees. Is the bedroom that awful? Looks awful, doesn't it? I suppose it is awful. It's dirty. All right, let's fix that. So one of the things that you can do is you can put in end tables, and it makes beds a little bit more comfortable, which is always good for the colonists. So we're going to put one of those next to each bed. It has to be near the head of the bed. And they also need a end table as well, a dresser, and it gives again another comfort bonus. We've got plenty of wood, so this is not really an issue, and I'd certainly recommend putting it in the rooms where you can afford it in terms of wood. And clearly we can on this particular hex, so it'll make everything a bit more happy. So Stranger has got she's got 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the evening of recreation, so she should start going to do recreation now. So I'm hoping that she will, so she's starting to do recreation. Okay, so her recreation bar is now going to increase. Yes, there. So this recreation starved has disappeared. We're going to deal with this awful bedroom situation. Let me just... Oh, never do cleaning. Okay, we'll get you to do this. Alright, so the bedroom is now... It's still awful. What's causing the problem here? Let's have a look. No, it's got patches of dirt, basically. Is Fleming the one that doesn't do cleaning? Stranger's bedroom, so... Let's get her to clean the dirt in here. Is there other patches of dirt? Still a bit awful. We'll put some flower pots in there, and honestly, we can put statues in as well. But I think putting in some flower pots is quite an easy way of getting them to be a little bit happy in their bedrooms. So let's just do that. We've got plenty of wood. Well, we did have plenty of wood. Actually, we don't have much wood anymore. Let's set that up. Chop wood. Chop some wood. Nice and close to home. So you see the wind turbines kind of slowed down, but we do have some power in the tank because of the battery. Very, very important. She wants to do a heat wave for 4.7 days. I'm thinking probably not. I mean, these aren't bad. I mean, skill trainer's pretty decent. The plastile's quite nice. Tech print, brain wiring. So, if you don't know what tech print is, if you go to research and you kind of scroll down towards this end, you've got research items here, which you can't do until you get the tech prints, because you need a tech print to give you like a head start in it. And so in this instance, this is brain wiring. And this will unlock joy wire, mind screw, pain stopper. So I'm not going to go into these massively, but if you just click on it, it'll give you an idea of what it does. Pain stoppers are very handy if you have characters called wimps. It means that they don't fall down quite so quickly if they get pain. But anyway, the point is that that tech print allows you to start researching this. So you need 0 of 1, you need 1 tech print in brain wiring to start researching brain wiring. I think you only ever need... Oh yeah, so cataract army, you need 2. to start researching cataphracts armor, for instance. The others are all 1. So that's what tech point is. I don't think I'm going to take that quest at this time. Okay, so this is something worth pointing out. We would like to train the donkey to be a hauler. In order to do that, in order to train the donkey, you need to have some sort of usable food. So stranger's good with donkeys, oh sorry, with animals, and therefore with the donkey. But if you try and do it, if you try and get strangers to train the donkey, it says no usable food. Okay. What this means is that we need to basically make some kibble. Now, kibble's quite easy to make. You make kibble at a butcher table. You add bill, make kibble. It's best to move that up above that. Do until you have, I don't know, 100 kibble. You can make it out of anything. You have to combine raw meat and plants, though, which is a bit of an issue because we don't have a great deal of plants right now. But we are going to get the harvest in. The rice is 75% grown, which is pretty awesome. Corn will be coming in due course. So that's something that we can make once we have the veg in order to do it with. Okay. I think we need more grow zones now because we've got established. And I think, yeah, another couple of grow zones would be quite useful. So let's just crack on with that. Can never have too many things growing, if you ask me. So 1, 2, 3, gap of 1, 2, 3. How far is that across? 3, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And we'll get rice. We need some quick food, quick veg. Right, so all our people are armed. Let's just double check. Yuji's not because obviously he's not violent, but everyone else is armed. These are not great weapons, but we will get there. So we've had a transport pod crash. Okay. Bloop. And it's a relationship. So it's Gizmo's father. Ooh. So you can recapture him for recruitment or slavery purposes, but we don't want to do that. Just rescue him, he might join freely. Okay, so let's see what Glenn is all about. Oh, so Glenn is not great. He has an annoying voice and he's nervous. Not great stats. Also, he's quite old. Has he got any health problems? He's got a bad back. So with a situation like this, you would probably put Glenn on just cleaning, keep him close to home. He's got a bad back, he can't move very quickly. So having him clean around the place and maybe making stuff at the art bench is probably a good thing. He's actually not too bad at that. He's all right at shooting as well. So that's cool. Let's grab up Glenn. We can turn this into the hospital for now, just by marking it as medical. Turn the light on, and we'll get Gizmo to rescue his dad, rather than capture him. Right, so Glenn, guest, we're going to give him the herbal. Do we have any non-herbal medicine? We don't. So we'll give, what's he got wrong with him? Single stab. Okay, that's fine. Now, who's our doctor? Eugene with 10 or Fleming with 8? Alright, so we'll get Eugene on it. Eugene's sewing area. I want him to tend to Glenn. Let's stop the bleeding. Make sure it's clean in here afterwards. Can't fix his bad back, but he's all good there. And Glenn is now recovering. That's all good. All right, pretty nice. So because Glenn may well join us, we need another bedroom, so we're going to have to kind of prepare for that. Let's mine out this spot here. I'll tell you what we could do. We could actually use this. No, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll actually mine this out completely. We'll put in a wall ourselves. We could use the rock as the wall, but that'll be ugly, and we don't want that. Then we'll use this as the walkway up and round and through. All right. Well, it turns out Glenn has got an infection. That's a bit of a problem because we only have the good medicine. We'd rather not give good medicine for infections. We need to cut down some wild heal root, but there's not a lot of it around, unfortunately. You can grow heal root yourself. That's ready to harvest. I'm thinking maybe get Fleming to cut that, and these two are ready to go. Yep. Cut that. Cut that. So you've got to do manually. I want to do this quickly because obviously we need to get in the heal root for his infection. I mean, Fleming is not necessarily the best person at growing, so these may bodge these, but that's okay. Now, when Eugene wakes up, he'll automatically understand that he needs some tending, and he'll go and grab these herbal medicines that are lying on the floor here. So there is a few. We botched that harvest, sadly. That's a shame. Mad Muffalo. Dear. That's not great, is it? Which one of these is mad? This one. Man, yeah, Manhunter. It's just the one of them, though. So we had this last time, if you remember. So why is he dead? Oh, he had a heart attack. Dear. Shame we didn't know about that, otherwise we could have gone out and grabbed him. Okay, I think we're going to leave it there. Yeah, that's been a good episode. We got huge amounts done. Got the research done. We got the hospital built. We're just waiting to do the floor. We're going to research. As soon as solar paneling is done, we're going to research the what was it? Smithing. Sorry, and that will give us the ability to make metal floors, which are a little bit cleaner. We'll put that in the hospital for now, and it's all taking shape really nicely. So I think, yeah, in terms of the basics, we are almost there. Maybe another episode or two, and then I will leave our colonists' fate to the stars. We shall see. But for now, we've got to deal with Fleming out in the field with this Madden Muffalo, and we'll come back to that in tomorrow's episode. So thanks very much for watching. I do appreciate your company. Any comments or feedback, as I said, is always welcome, and I'll catch you on the next one. But for now, this is Buck, pulling the plug.